Hello and welcome back to in party chat again. I need to change that. I'll restart that. There we go. Right. Hello and welcome back to IRS. We are live for round 3 here at Mexico sprint race. We are ready to get this sprint race underway. Just gonna run through the grid quickly. We've got Naismith on pole alongside Mizor. Next up, Nud and Andy Mack, followed by Lumina and Mario Bros. Kenchum and IRS LB44, Dave, Remy, DBK, Joshua, Matty, and then back row of the grid is Solar and Shazam, followed by Braconia as the reserve. But we'll be ready up in 2 minutes time. Make sure you've got your setups on. Make sure you have done your tire pressures, checked everything through before we get this race underway. It is a dry sprint race, no rain forecasted. Championship battle, is it too early to start talking about that? We've got Shazam and Solar separated by not that many points. Matty as well, Joshua following up the championship battle there. IRS LB44, have a good evening lads, what's up? Hope you have a good race. Can anyone stop McLaren in the constructors? Solar, who reserved in the first 2 races, helped McLaren actually get to 109 points alongside Shazam. Now switched over to the Ferrari and will be chasing after the McLarens. Shazam on his own today, no McLaren reserve either, so a lot of work for him to do. From the back row of this sprint, we should now be ready. Drivers should be ready and up. So here we go then. Live for the 12 lap sprint race around Mexico. 12 points is the maximum available points for the sprint race in first position. Naismith, who is a pretty quick driver, yet to have a decent race this season, starts on pole position. Can this be the turning point in his season as we got the lights on? We're about to get the race underway. Here we go, 5 red lights and away we go with Naismith on pole. A great start. That's a Mercedes at Williams there, sorry. Andy Mack with a great start, already up 2 positions. Having a look through the field. And it's going to start to bunch up. There's an Alpine off the track there trying to go around the outside of the Aston Martin. IRS LB44 in the middle of it all, trying to make his way through in 8th position. Manages to get up 2 positions there. Joshua up to 6th position already. Great start from him. Naismith though, like I said, could this be a turning point in his season? He is a very quick driver, but it's just had a bad start. Got Andy Mack in P2 with Mizor. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Having a look, Shazam's up to P8. Solar's not had the best start. He's in P12, losing time to his rivals ahead. Matty P10, he's doing pretty decent as well. We're on board with Shazam now. Coming through the S's. Stuck behind RSLB44 in P8. We've got Solar making a move on DBK. Solar's got wing damage as well. And he's just tried retiring from the race, I think, which is not on at all. He's currently stopped on the track in the last sector. DRR Naismith well out in front, 3.1 seconds in the lead now. Andy Mack has got Joshua next up, who's now up into P3. IRS LB44 battling away up to P6 now, trying to go running outside of Lumina. Shazam still in P8, trying to fight his way through. He's got Matty there as well now, up to P9, side by side action. As Shazam's going for a double overtake here. He's got IRS LB44 who just about outbreaks him. Naismith now 4 seconds out in the lead. He scores 0 points in this championship so far in the first 2 rounds, but him being out front is perfect for him here. Here comes Joshua. Solo's out of the session. Joshua looking for a way pass on Andy Mack. He's got his teammate not too far behind as well. Can Dave stay in the DRS of his teammate? It's IRS LB44 having a look at Lumina. Gets the job done. Good overtake. Shazam's going to take advantage of that as well. Dave gets a good exit there on his teammate Joshua. And here come the 2 kicks. Looking for a way past the Williams. Can Dave get it as well? He's going to have the slipstream of his teammate. Can he get into turn 1 ahead of the Williams with a late braking move? Not quite. Andy with a good defence there. Still P3 for Andy. He's having a great race here. Got a long way to go though. Not going to lie. In tier 1, the hard tyres were the much better tyres to be on. Towards the end of the race, the hard tyres were gone. I started on pole in the sprint race, got overtaken into turn 1 by Tino, but his hard tyres after about lap 8 just felt a lot comfortable, a lot better. Was able to get the traction down more. But Dave's got the job done on Andy and the 2 kicks. Gonna have to try push on because they've got Shazam up next, who's got past IRS LB44, who's just spun into the wall. I wonder what sort of tyre pressures he's got. What does that look like? He got that all wrong. Joshua now 5 seconds behind Naismith. Dave trying to push on as well. Andy has got the DRS here though. He might be able to get his P3 back off Dave with the slipstream and the DRS. Gonna have to use a bit of ERS if he wants to defend from Shazam. Shazam's going for a double overtake into turn 1, locks up the tyres, cuts the corner. That was a bit of a naughty move from Shazam there. Luckily for all 3 drivers, nothing really happens. You've got Matty sitting in P6, IRS LB44 now into the pits. You've got Mizor and Kentrim a long way back. Briconia in P12. Nud's currently in the points. P10 for the Aston Martin, ahead of his teammate. Remy up to P9. DBK up to P8. Shazam's already caught Dave. This could be an easy overtake here for the McLaren with the help of DRS. There he goes. And he's going to be hunting after Joshua. But this is perfect for Shazam at the moment. He'll only be losing 2 points to Joshua, 4 points to Naismith who's behind him and yet to score in the championship, so check your chat. I'm too busy looking at the race. My controller just stopped working. Oh, his controller stopped working. I thought he was just trying to retire from the race. It looked kind of sus, not gonna lie. And then going into the pits with 10 seconds, yeah. That's fucked. At least you got the main race to go and the qualifying as DBK gets past Lumina up into P7. Matty's got past Andy, who's dropping down the field slowly, still in the points at the moment. I feel like Matty could be on for a podium here. His hard tyres towards the end are going to start to come to play. Can he get after Shazam and Joshua for that sprint podium? Can Naismith hold on to it out front? He scored no points, so he's under pressure here for this win. He's under pressure just to score points, so this is even more of a big task here, being out front in the sprint race. He is extending the gap though to Joshua, who has a big slide coming out the final corner. Loses attempt to Shazam, who's now in the DRS. And I think Joshua is slowly but surely going to be overtaken from the McLaren. He's sliding about everywhere, Joshua. Wonder what his tyre pressures are. I think here, if you put the fronts all the way up to the top and the rears all the way down to the bottom, it's pretty better. Matty's got past Dave. Got a couple of penalties there. DBK and Lumina already 3 seconds. Nud and Braconia 3 seconds as well. IRS I'll be 44 with that 10 seconds. Nud has lost a position to his teammate. Not sure what's happened there, must have had a moment somewhere because he's dropped off quite a bit. Back up to the battle here with Shazam. Up the inside of Joshua, who runs wide. That's going to be a track limit warning for Joshua there. And like I said, look who's coming in the background. There is Matty, who's in this championship battle. I think this is 3 of the top 4 drivers in the standings, apart from Solar. But Shazam gets the job done. Easy move with the DRS. Matty's just losing out a little bit down the straight with the with no DRS, but he is catching 1.5 seconds now. I've had it wide for a bit now, and the one time it stopped working, it's the one time we need to work. Yeah, that's so annoying. Luckily it's not in the main race though, and you're not losing massive points. Technically you're only losing 10 points now to Shazam. Yellow flag. And that is Naismith round. Like I said, he was in the perfect position to win this race, and he has just gifted Shazam P1. But Naismith again, the pressure was on him to just score points. He better not be listening to the stream, because if he is, he's just had a bit of a commentator's curse. And that Alpine's running deep. Has Naismith got damage? Yes, he does, along with that Alpine there of DBK, who's battling with Dave here quite hard. And that wing damage is just not helping DBK, and he just drove into Dave there a little bit. I think that wing damage is costing him a little bit. Yeah, not the result that DBK is looking for, but Matty gets past Joshua as well. I feel like Matty could go on to win this race here. Has he got the tyres to do it? Has Shazam got the speed in that McLaren to defend and not let Matty get within the 1 second DRS? I told you Matty would be a championship contender this year. Singapore I think was just a bit of a shit show for him, but the real pace of the Red Bull that he showed last season is starting to come in to season 14, as Andy Mack battling away with Lumina for P5 at the moment. Andy in a great position to score some decent points here in this sprint race. Naismith with the wing damage trying to hang on to some valuable points that it will need. Cuts across the track. That might be it actually. Did he not get 10 seconds for that? Mad. But that could be Naismith into the pits, and yet again scoring low points after leading the race for about 7 laps there. Joshua still within the DRS of Matty here, who's actually not catching up with Shazam, so Shazam's mediums still feeling okay. Naismith into the pits to retire from the session. IRS will be 44, trying to make a comeback into the points. We've got Kentron behind him as well. Braconia nearly losing it completely there. Got the wing damage. IRS will be 44, eases past, and here comes Kentron as well. Kentron could be into the points, as IRS will be 44 tries to defend it. You might as well just stay with Kentron here and just try to go up towards Nud and try to get into the points. Lumina's actually gapped Andy there and caught up with Dave. This is a decent race from Lumina in the Mercedes, as Dave has a big moment there. Just oversteer out the corner, pushes him off the track. It's going to be a good opportunity for Lumina, who's still got 100% ERS here. On the hard tyres, feeling much more comfortable. And he's going to be going up into a P4 position. Best bit of driving from Lumina we've seen this season. Can he make the late lunge around the outside into turn 1? You bet you can. Good move. But yeah, Shazam out front. Matty's not able to do anything about him. Matty's actually struggling with the hard tyres. Do you know what Andy could be on for a P4 here? He's still tucked up behind Dave, who's pretty close to Lumina. How many seconds does Lumina have? 3. There's currently a 2.1 second gap between Andy. He needs to try dispatch of Dave quite quickly here. Who's struggling with the rears completely. There's a yellow flag somewhere in sector 2. IRS LB44 and NUD possibly coming together there. Kentrum with the 3-second tyre penalty. He could have possibly got DBK, as Andy Mack has got past Dave into P5. He's got 2 laps to stay within 3 seconds of Lumina and try to get that P4. But he's had a bad couple of corners there and already lost 6 tenths. Pushing him back to 2.7 seconds, but he's just used that DRS and ERS to put it straight back. Briconia with a 3-second time penalty. Here's DBK and Mario Bros. Is DBK... Did DBK box? No, he didn't. Still got that wing damage. As he looks up the inside of Mario Bros, both of them with wing damage. Slight little touch. DBK with the better exit though. Good overtake from the Alpine, considering they have wing damage. And Matty has caught up a little bit here this lap with Shazam. Shazam's got a little bit more ERS to use though. I think it's too much of a big gap for Shazam to bottle. We're on the last lap of the sprint race. 12 laps, 12 points up for grabs for P1. The yellow flag, that's IRS LB44 around again in the Ferrari. Bad day for them at the moment. Constructors wise, for the sprint race, 0 points. Yeah, Shazam comfortably out front, 2.2 seconds. They dropped Joshua as well, who's on those medium tyres. I think he's got the wrong tyre pressures on possibly. Or he's just lack of pace around Mexico, but he's still in a decent position here, P3. Nizor picks up a 3-second time penalty, but we're coming into the stadium section for the final time to end this sprint race. Matty's really catching up, to be fair. Shazam, his tyres are gone. Luckily for him, he's got 1 more corner to go before he takes victory in this sprint race. Shazam takes the 12 points and starts the day victorious with Matty just behind him in P2. What's happened to Joshua? Joshua's got a puncture, so Lumina's could be promoted to P3 here on the sprint race, on the sprint podium, and he's going to be P4. Joshua's still spun round. DBK up to P5. He'll lose that to Mario Bros. Joshua's still trying to crawl to the line here, but he's got the wrong tyre pressures completely on. He's going to be P6, DBK down to P7. Not sure what's happened to Kentrum. He's going really slow here. He's in the points. Well, he was in the points. Maybe he's just backing off to give Remy some extra points. P8 for Kentrum. Drops down to P9, who promotes Dave up to P8. Nods into the points. Ahead of Remy, who's also got a puncher. How's everyone got punches here on mediums? I did the mediums and I was fine. I had the fronts all the way up to the right and the rears all the way to the left. That's weird. Maybe it's just the driver from the tier 2 just over throttling it. That's what's giving them that extra tyre wear. Right, everyone retire from the race now. Right, why does everyone leave, man? I said do not leave the session, everyone starts leaving. How fucking... Oh my days. Alright, everyone's getting crashed apparently. So, we will restart. Quick time. We're just waiting for Mizor to join and then we will get ready. Mario Bros from P15 to P5. Great race from him. If we had a driver of the day for the sprint race, might well be him. Right, here we go then. Qualifying is about to get underway. Let me just send Solar an invite. Oh, it's a wet quality. Damn. Just trying to invite Solar. Wait for the game to let up. Wet quality though. It's going to change the whole dynamic of this qualifying session. And who's going to be on pole possibly. As we just wait for the session to load up. Alright, there we go. Where's Solar? There we go. Get Solar in quickly. Right. Some people going for inters. Will that be quicker than the wet tyres towards the end of the session? We shall find out. as Nud is the first driver out on track. People probably adjusting their setups now compared to the race that we just had. Solar has joined. Wonder if it's a wet race. If anyone's watching in the stream, kindly update me. Because then we can know what sort of setups people are on. Dry. So I think a lot of people use their dry setups here in quali just to have the dry setup for the race, which will be a lot more handy. Solo's in. Yep, there you go. He just said he loves the wet. IRS LB44. I think he's another fan of the wet weather. He's on the wet tyres. Bit of a mixed grid here. Quite a few people on the inters, which I think would be quicker. Just looking at the standard water on a track. Yeah, I think the inters will be quicker here at the moment, at this stage. Who's going to be the first driver? That's one of the Alpines. It is the TBK, the Frenchman, who will be live on YouTube somewhere if you want to go tune into that as a driver POV, but we're on board with him now. Here on the IRS Twitch, ready for the first hot lap of the day. Here we go then, down the main straight in the wet weather with DBK, using all that IRS. Down the straight into this hard braking right hander, down into gear 3, takes the apex very nice there, a little bit of curb, down to gear 2, slides the rears out of the corner, no DRS active, so he's going to have to drain that battery to good use, down into the left hander. And the second slowest part of the track, the first stadium section. He's got a hot lap on. I'd probably say put that down to medium. If he has medium, he's going to find a lot more traction through these corners and just use hot lap and the ERS button when he can. Medium to none in the rain, you'll find a lot more pace through the corners. But on the straight with the ERS, you want to drain it as much as you can. Not too bad from DBK at the moment, a 107.2. This is the opening lap though. Everyone's just finding their feet, getting used to the rears lighting up a bit more than what there was in the sprint race, as DBK comes out of the final corner, sliding the rears ever so slightly up to the line, and it is a 130.9 from DBK. I think Nud was up next. He has invalidated. Mizor is in the Alpine for some reason. Just realised that it should be in the Mercedes, I think. No, he's in the... Sorry, I'm getting confused with the tier 1. Mizor's in the Mercedes tier 1. It's Max that should be in the Mercedes. Is not here today, so Briconia is. Getting the French a little bit mixed up there. Sorry about that. But yeah, Mizor, DBK a lot quicker than IRS LB44 there on the inters. Kentrim up to P4, Andy P5. Get those wet weather tyres off and get the inters on. DRL Naismith 132.2. So DBK with a very good lap there, but I think that's just about to be beaten by this man here. Matty goes 9/10 quicker and puts himself onto the front row of the grid. Here comes Dave, on the best of laps at the moment on the wets. Needs to change the tyres. The inters is a faster tyre. Mizor invalidation. Shazam looking for pole position. I think he's got one so far this season. I think it's split between him and Solar, if I'm right. Yep. Shazam with the pole in Singapore, Solar in Abu Dhabi. Who's going to get it this time? Solo said he loves the wet weather. He's yet to come out on track though. Doesn't want to give himself pressure by not being able to do a lap and leaving it late on. As IRS 44 hasn't improved. Dave Braconia up to P7. DBK's back into the pits. Shazam's looking pretty quick here as well. Can he take away that pole position from Matty? Whereas Matty found some pace here in the wet. Up to the line we go. And it's a 129.9. Just over a tenth quicker than Matty there. Who's up to the line again once more. And improves to 129.7 on 2 lap old tyres. So Matty's got the pace at the moment. Naismith heading into turn 1. He's got Shazam ahead of him who needs to get out of the way. Doesn't want to give any dirty air to the Haas, who's on a flying lap here. I think he's backed off though. I think Solo is out on track. And how's Mazur getting on? In the Alpine, I think he's about to dive into the pits. You've got Joshua on a lap in the kick. Had a good sprint race until the last couple of laps when he got that. He's sliding with those rear tyres. He's got to put the pressure up, I think. Maybe. He's got Mercedes ahead of him, who's not on a lap, I don't think. This might... Oh, it's just going to interfere with Josh's lap. He tries to go around the outside. So 129.759. So I think Joshua would have got pole position there if it was not for the Mercedes. Shazam's improving again. Up to the line he comes. A 129.1. A massive improvement. But here comes Matty again in the Red Bull. But he's sliding out the final corner. So 28.5. 1.1 seconds up on 3 lap old inters. The track is getting better. If I was Matty, into the pits, mate. Fresh set of inters. Go again. Because the track is improving. The rain is coming down. What's Dave doing still out on the wets? If you're out on the wet tyres now, you're just costing yourself time of a good lap. You need to get into the pits. How's Solar getting on his first lap? Oh, sliding into the corner there. Just turned in a bit too early there, I think. As we jumped on board with the Ferrari. Drifting through the S's. Still drifting. He's just over throttling through some of the corners. Just needs to lift a little bit more and try to carry the speed. Could still be on a great lap though. I think Lumina just moved up to P5 there with a 131.1. We're on board with Solar, who's sliding about everywhere. He's on a great lap, so 127.7. I think he'd find more time there if he just had a bit more throttle control out of some of the corners. He'd be on an epic lap. But everyone is starting to find time here. Down to the bottom. Mario Bros coming out on the wet weathers. They're not the tyres you want to be on right now. IRS 44. Got a bit of traffic ahead of him. He's on a flying lap here. He's got too much ERS though. He should have drained that down a start straight and a second straight. Just drain it through there. And then when you get to this little straight after it, drain it again. I think he's just testing the waters a bit though. He's going to have to back off though if he wants to go for another lap. He's got too much traffic ahead of him. 2.8 seconds up. And if he used that ERS more down the straights, I think it'd be even more up on his time. Down into gear 2. Try to get it up into gear 3 with the throttle for the final corner. Try to get a good exit. Just went back down to gear 2. Applies the ERS. Up to P7. He might have a lot of fuel in the car as well to keep going for another lap. Mario Bros starting again. Naismith up to P4. DBK with a 28.7. Good improvement there from the Alpine driver. Nods up to P11. Kentrum's improved by 7 tenths. Remy, only driver yet to set a time. What can he do? He's got loads of cars ahead of him here. Everyone's so bunched up together, and look how much space there is on the rest of the track. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8 cars within 3 corners on a qualifying session. How has everyone not backed off and just tried letting each other do their laps? That is crazy. Still on board with Remy though, who's coming around these corners. A bit like Solar. Sliding the rears out. As there's traffic ahead of him, and yeah, like I said, no one's even paying attention. Everyone's just driving back to the pits like they're on a Sunday drive down the M25. Do you know what I mean? 2 OAPs on the way back from bingo, headed down the M25. Look at your mirrors. Get out the middle lane. You're hogging it. Let's go back to the driving though. Andy, P16. $137.8, really struggling in this wet weather. Naismith's gone on the softs. I don't think he's actually going to guide onto the softs. I think he's just clicked that to see if it's quicker. Good awareness from Remy there to get out of the way. That's what drivers should be doing, looking in the mirrors at where the next car on a fast lap is. As we're on board with Andy Mack at the moment, trying to find as much time as he can. Still got loads of IRS in the car. What's his sector 2 checkpoint? He's 3.9 seconds up here. Just try to get the car turned in. Down into gear 2, try to rotate it as much as you can. Still got Remy right behind him. Can he get the exit that he wants? Up into gear 3. Draining the battery. So 132.6, P12. A good improvement. Still got enough time to do a couple more laps for Andy. And who's that Mercedes? It just went flying into turn 1 then. There's Briconia, who looks a lot quicker here in the wet weather. He's already out of IRS, so I don't think this lap's going to be any good. That's 3 tenths improvement, but just got to find the trick of how to use the IRS correctly. Wants to switch that IRS off now. Try to save it up as he comes through the corners, as he invalidates his lap. Joshua with the 27.4 in the kick. Didn't even realise he was on a lap there. 1 and 3 for the kicks at the moment. Dave's up to P3 as well. While I've been looking down the field, not realised that the 2 kick drivers have had great laps. I think everyone's possibly waiting for the rain to stop, thinking that dry tyres are going to be enough. It's not. This is not going to dry in 3 laps here. 3 minutes, sorry. It's not enough. If I was you, I'd get back out on track now with the inters. I don't think it's enough. While it's still raining now, I don't think it's enough to get into dries. I think if it had stopped raining right at this moment in time, I'd say yeah, risk it, but honestly, I don't think it's worth it. The track's still too wet, and it's not going to dry up in 2.5 minutes. That much for the dries to be quicker than the inters. Anyone on a flying lap? Lumina, who had his best result of the season in the sprint there, getting that P3 on the podium. Where can he put this Mercedes in his qualifying session? Solar the Yeet are still waiting, so, along with Dave and Naismith, trying to wait for that dries, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to work out for you guys. Unfortunately, you're going to have to get out onto the track. Naismith risked it though. There is a dry line, but I just don't think it's going to be quick enough. As soon as you go slightly offline, that's it. Game over for those softs. But Illumina here, P11, sliding through the S's. Trying to find time, that's an invalidation. DBK, 2 tenths up into sector 1. Like I said, he's got hot lap on, that's why he's sliding so much out the corners. If you had medium, you'd be able to get the throttle down a lot more easier. Just too much energy going into the rear tyres, and you're lighting it up in the wet weather. He's still improving to what he was before because he's just using hot lap, but I feel like if it was medium traction, it'd be up by Joshua, Solar. Those sort of times, so 1.2 seconds. They're going to be improving here on this last lap. I feel like we're going to get down to 25s possibly. Low 26s, high 125s possibly. As DBK sliding into the final corner. This is his last chance. He's going to be out at ERS, sorry. It's a 27.0. We have got faster people out on track though. Like Matty already 6 tenths up, just into sector 1 alone. With how much grip he's got. Naismith out on the softs, risking it all. Stay on the driest line possible. Let's go back to Matty though, because he looked like he was flying here. He has got a bit of traffic ahead of him of the Williams. Hopefully he gets out of the way. Mercedes, sorry. Not sure who that is. IRS LB44 now with a 26.8. Goes pole position. The Mercedes needs to get out of the way here. He's not on a lap. It is Mazur. No, it's not. Who is it? It's Lou. Who is it? It's Briconia. He's not on a lap, I don't think. And he's in the way of Matty, who was possibly on the way to get in pole position. 25.7 from Shazam. Matty's been held up massively here. A 25.8, that would have been pole position for Matty if he didn't get held up. Joshua 5 tenths up into sector 1. How's Solar getting on? 2.1 seconds up in the Ferrari. Can he make it back-to-back pole positions? He got pole in the McLaren as a reserve driver last week. Can he make it back-to-back poles as his first race as a full-time Ferrari driver? Yes, he can. It's a 124.6. The track is improving massively here. What can Joshua do? How fast does he go? 1.2 seconds. Can he find even more time into the stadium section and take away that pole position from his brother? Out of the final corner we come. Don't think it's enough. No, it's not. It's going to be P3 on the grid though. IRS LB44 into the pits. Kentrum, how's he getting on? 1.3 seconds up, but has invalidated. Naismith retires from the session. Shazam has got no ERS left and no fuel. Well, he's got ERS left, but no fuel, sorry. And that is Solar taking pole position by just over a second there. I think everyone left it. Everyone went a bit too early, to be fair. Solar was one of the last people to do the lap, and the track evolution was massive. But congratulations to Solar. He's good in the dry. Would he be good in the wet? He's good in the wet. Would he be good in the dry? As we got the 50% coming up after this. There's your confirmation. Just over a second to Shazam. 5th, love that from IRS LB44. Outlaw saying, was it raining? He missed the qualifying session. The wet weather king of Outlaw in Tier 2. Possibly having the crown taken over from Solar. It is a dry race there. Formation lap is on. Formation lap is off, sorry. So make sure you're ready to go. Right then, let's get this 36 lap race underway. Hopefully we don't see too many safety cars in this one, and it is a clean race, especially down to turn 1 here. Just try not to send it into turn 1 like you're in time trial. Remember there's cars there, get on the brakes early. Alright, let's go. Right, here we go then. The drivers have readied up, and we are ready to get this race underway. The lights are on. 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Mexico, and away we go. With Solo getting a half decent start, but Shazam has got a good pull away as well there. Both side by side heading towards turn 1. Got Joshua also having a look. Can he make it 3 wide? Not quite. IRS LB44 trying to go around the outside of Matty there into turn 1. Great move that is, with late braking, but Matty's still got the inside. They're side by side. Can IRS LB44 hang on to it? Back up to the top though. We've got Shazam having a look at Solar. Not quite close enough for a move. IRS LB44 has pulled in front of Matty up into P4. Great start for the Ferrari. There's action going on in the background. Got Remy and Lumina side by side into the stadium section. Remy running deep on the hard tyres. That allows Dave to the outside. Looks like a half decent start so far from this tier 2. Remy just running a bit deep. Getting the S's all wrong there. Tucks in behind Dave. And Mario Bros already picking up a penalty. Along with Nud by the looks of it. Back up to the top we go. And Joshua tucked in behind his brother. Behind Shazam, sorry. Solar leading the way. IRS 44 getting the corner all wrong there. Luckily for him, I don't think he got wing damage. DBK is going to have to be careful not to lose the DRS. To the top 5 as DR on Naismith makes the move on Mario Bros. And DBK has lost the DRS there, unfortunately, to the top 5. Got to try and find a way back into it through the stadium section. Draining the barrier as much as he can. As Matty having a little look at IRS LB44 for that P4. A little slide in the background from Naismith there, just getting on the throttle a bit too early. Pushed himself back towards Mario Bros. Briconia with a 3-second time penalty early on in this race. Shazam tucked up right behind the Ferrari now. IRS LB44 has to be careful not to lose that DRS. got to change the gears down a bit more through some of the corners. Luckily for him, I think he's just about inside that DRS there. As Shazam now looking for the overtake. DBK with the fastest lap there, so everyone in this little train driving to their maximum ability at the moment. As Shazam takes the lead of the race. Oh, Solar's just outbraked himself a little bit too much there into the back of Shazam. Matty and IRS LB44 still going at it. And that's who's that round? That's dear old Naismith, who's having a horrid time. He really is. He's a bit like me in tier 1. Just can't finish a race, can't seem to finish a lap, can't seem to get any points. Joshua's got past Solar there, who's now down to P3. Pole sitter, not finding the pace in the dry. Matty gets on the grass a little bit. Rears sliding. Luckily for him, he's just about stayed in the DRS there. DBK's got himself back into it as well. Yellow flags in the background, not sure what's going on. Naismith getting past someone who's, even with wing damage there, Naismith getting past someone. Remy having a look at Andy. Shazam with a new fastest lap though. A lot more comfortable in this dry weather. Already 1.1 seconds ahead of Joshua. Top 3 have just split each other with DRS there after overtaking each other. That's allowed Matty to close up to the back of Solar. The battle for P2 in the championship at the moment. There's this little battle here from 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Shazam just out front. Naismith, Mizor, Briconia into the pits. I feel like Naismith will definitely get back into this race if he's comfortable with the hard tyres, because I think half of this grid will do a 2-stop due to the tyre wear. I think Shazam, Solar, Matty, Joshua possibly could do a 1. As Mario Bros again running off the track there. Oh, Solar running off track as well, that could be a warning. IRS LB44 has just dropped off ever so slightly. He's now battling with TBK for that 5th position. But it's a good, much better race for Ferrari at the moment. 3rd and 5th. As Josh is just a bit too far away from Solar at the moment, or is he? Yeah, just a bit too far back. 1 second looked like Solar was going to close enough for a move. Briconia with another 3 seconds. We've got Mario Bros battling with Lumina. Can Lumina get that traction down with the DRS though and retake that position? Doesn't want to do it. Turned off the DRS. Naismith with a 3 second, pushing down the bottom there in P14. Switchback from Kentrum. Almost. Up to P10 for Kentrum. Managed to avoid the little chaos in the opening laps. Got himself into some decent points at the moment. On track right now, sitting in P9 because of that penalty from Mario Bros. Can he get past Lumina? Back up to the top though, because Joshua now under pressure. Solar has got past Joshua, who's giving the pressure back to his brother in the Ferrari here. Matty as well, just sitting behind these two at the moment, not able to get past. I think the battling between Joshua and Solar has cost himself another second to Shazam there. .5 seconds now the gap. Solar's going to be under pressure from Matty possibly here. Down into the stadium section. Will he go for the move? Not going to be close enough. Oh, he goes for a late one there. Matty's got that wrong. Matty's got that all wrong. And he spun Solar, who's now dropped behind his teammate. Oh, Solo's now nearly spun DBK. Just relax, get back into position. There's a long way to go in this race. Safety cars can happen. DBK nearly loses the rears. Solo looking for a way past. There he goes up the inside. DBK's going to have to concede the position. What's happened on the start? Mizor has come together with Briconia, I think. But while that battle has happened, Shazam has said thank you very much, I will take that. We might see Solar now opt into a different strategy of boxing early, trying to go for something else, trying to get in some clean air, fresh tyres, fresh wing. He's under pressure, losing time from the... Oh, there's a massive collision there, and Dave is out. That's going to be a safety car for sure. DBK is round as well. It's a virtual safety car, but both the Kick and Alpine were trying to overtake Solar there, and it's gone awfully wrong. Safety car is now out. Like I said, people like Naismith back in this race now. Briconia, Mizor, all with another opportunity. IRS LB44 getting a 3 second onto the safety car. I feel like we will see everyone into the pits changing their strategy now. If you pick the harder tyre compound with the 2 extra hard tyres instead of the mediums, you are laughing right now. You're going to have a hard to the end of the race. One stop. You're going to have the best tyres. Let's see what they'll do. Solo trying to back off Kentrum to try to get that pit stop. Shazam's into the pits. Joshua will definitely be into the pits. Along with Matty, they've got to. They can't lose time to Shazam like that. IRS LB44 has surely got a pit on for hards. Oh, Naismith just got a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. And he just had the perfect opportunity to get himself back in this race. And he gets another 10 seconds, and that's going to be Naismith again scoring 0 points in an IRS race. It's not going well for him at all. Alright, let's see how this grid unfolds as they come out of the pits. Shazam ahead of Joshua with Matty. How has he not been disqualified yet? There must have been loads of penalty. So you got the IRS LB44 comes out ahead of Kentrum and Lumina, because Solar lost a load of positions there. Andy Max up to P8. Remy's on P9. Mario Bros back into this race into P10. DBK has been absolutely gifted one there. He was one of the drivers involved in the incident, but fortunately for him, he's been able to recover with the help of the safety car. Oh, Mizor, do not pit. Do not pit, Mizor, to get yourself lapped. If I see this. Good. Oh, he's on fresh tyres anyway, so he can't. But that's 2 drivers out of the session. Let me just post the incident reports. Oh, Matty just said sorry to Solar. Oh, yeah, that was for the incident earlier. Where Matty just braked a little bit too late into the side of the Ferrari. That could be a possible 3-second time penalty for Matty. It was a minor avoidable collision. don't think there was any damage caused. So for Matty, I think he's now got to look at, he's got a 3-second time penalty after the race if the stewards deem it that way. So he's now going to have to push on even more just to try to break a gap if he wants to finish ahead of Joshua or Shazam or anyone else behind. It's going to be a long safety car here, I think 3 or 4 laps just to Briconia and Nizor are a long way back. And the safety car is pretty quick around Mexico. Apart from this section here, slows up quite a bit, but down the straight it's just rapid. So that's always hard to catch up if you're quite far back. But interesting now, Shazam, I think he picked the balanced option. To be fair, the medium hard would work perfect as well here, but I think if you're on hard, might just work a little bit better. Don't know. Maybe Shazam can prove me wrong there by doing that strategy. Along with Kentrum, Mario Bros, Nud, Nizor, Briconia, doing something completely different, going with the softs. Well, Solo was saying it's his fault actually in the chat, so both drivers saying it's their fault, possibly could be a racing incident. To me, as the commentator on board with Matty, it did look like he just braked a bit too late, which is what caused the collision. And I think Solo was trying to get the throttle out of the corner and spun round as well, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe I need to reset it. When did this become a nice server? Header from Outlaw. This has been a nice server for ages. It's not like the old IRS. If any of you lot was in that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for most of you, you'll have no idea that it was the most toxic server you'll ever meet in your life. That's why from season 5, I retired the league, deleted the Discord, and then about a couple of months later, restarted it from season 6. With a few people from the old server that I trusted and liked, and restarted it all. With all you guys that are now in it, and you guys are what makes it such a great server. But less of that, the safety car is now over. We're about to go racing, so right then. Joshua, what have you got on those hard tyres? He's going to struggle out this corner here, so for Shazam, I think it's perfect to go now. Which he's done. The traction on those mediums, just so much better for him. And Joshua might be under pressure from Matty here, who's in the slipstream of the kick. Both of them trading their ERS. Will Matty dive to the outside into turn 1? Late on the brakes, yes he will. Joshua's not having it. He braked a lot earlier than he didn't want to battle that. I think he just wants to restart this race, get these hard tyres up to temperature, and not lose any time to the cars behind. He is looking at a move though, down into turn 4 I think it is. On Matty, gets it done. Matty with a switchback though. Might be able to get the traction down, not quite. IRS LB44 just tucked in behind. Kentrum's made a bit of a mistake there. Just braked a bit too late, didn't realise what was happening ahead of him with the cars battling. There was a sort of gap for a split second, but just wasn't enough for the RB to make the move. But Shazam again on this restart is absolutely flying. Briconia has spun round. Nizor's had a moment somewhere as well on the restart, so they're side by side now. Nizor just getting the job done. How's Solar restarting here? He's in P6. I think he has gained 1 position, and he's chasing after Kentrum, who's on the mediums. I think for Solar there's still a podium here for him, as Kentrum's getting the job done on IRS LB44 here, who's already out of ERS, wants to switch that to none and just use the DRS. God, that's lovely through there from IRS LB44. What a move if he gets that done. It's not quite going to work out. If he had a bit more ERS, that would have been overtaken a month contender for sure. He's got his teammate behind. Nearly comes together, the two Ferraris. They don't want to drive into each other here. They're in a very good position to score points. They need to work together if they can. They've got the DRS section coming up soon. I think IRS LB44 just needs to stay behind Kentrum here. Try getting down the massive straight where both Ferraris can do it together. Matty as well, looking at a move on Joshua, just not quite close enough at the moment. Shazam now 4 seconds up the road. Here we go though. Matty will have the DRS. And possibly an opportunity to get past Joshua. Just looking back at Kentrum as well, he's got a decent exit out of the final corner. Here comes Matty, down into turn 1. Job done. They switch positions again. Now Solar's turn to chase after Kentrum. I think that's a sensible decision there from RSW44. I think he just let Solar through down the straight. And if Solar chases after Kentrum and tries to force him into a mistake as he goes past, RSW44 should be able to breeze past. But the top 6 have sort of broke away, especially Shazam. Solar all over the back of the RB there, looking for a way past. Kentrum almost in that DRS of Joshua. Good race from Kentrum this. P4 at the moment. RSLB44. Right behind his teammate. Can Kentrum get that exit that he wanted? He's been getting a very decent exit out of this corner, which is able to defend, but this time the Ferrari of Solar is right on his tail. And I think for him, he's about to lose a position. RSLB44 just hasn't got the ERS. He's not able to save up through the sector 2. Just need to leave it on none for half a lap and just try to save it up and stay right behind that RB. Use the DRS here and just sit behind him without any use ERS. We're about to catch up in the braking here. Joshua, he hasn't got enough ERS as well. He's lost the position to Matty. Can he save up enough ERS to get the position back from Matty? Kentrum picks up a 3 second. Runs wide as well. Can RSLB44 make a opportunity for this and get past? Did he get inside the 1 second? I don't think he did. But he's got a lot more ERS to use here, so he should be able to catch up to Kentrum again down the straight. Oh, Kentrum's got the DRS. Joshua not able to make a move. Lumina not close enough. Solar trying to catch up to the back of Joshua and Matty here. He's bringing Kentrum with him. There's a 2 second gap. RSLB44 has just lost a bit of time. He's got to try to keep switching the ERS modes just to gain the most amount of time that he can. Picked up a 3 second time penalty, just running wide there. Lumina on the back of on the back of Remy, along with Mario Bros inside the top 10. DBK down in P10, trying to recover his race after that incident with Dave. .21 laps to go. Joshua still tucked up by Matty. Oh, IRS LB44, what's happened there? I think he's had a moment somewhere because he's now lost a lot of time. Shazam 4.1 seconds out front on those mediums. Hard tyres, will they start to come back into play in the next couple of laps? Joshua and Matty. Solar's picked up a 3-second time penalty as well. Missed that. Kentrum still tucked up behind him in this DRS. Well, he was inside the DRS. Might have just lost it there. Might have just lost it. No, he didn't. On board with the Aston Martin of Mario Bros, not close enough to Remy. Remy not close enough to Lumina. Matty has taken a couple of attempts out of Shazam in his first sector. We'll keep an eye out on that gap. Yellow flag. That is Mizor down in P13. They are in the points at the moment. Mizor, Briconia, Nud, Andy. IRS Championship points go from P1 down to P15. 30 points for a race win, which is what Shazam is on right now, and on the way to extending his lead at the top of the Drivers' Championship. But Matty and Joshua are starting to close up. Surely Matty and Joshua do an undercut here on Shazam. Surely they have to box before him just to try and get the tyres and get the 3 seconds back or something. I don't know, because they're not taking enough time out of him at the moment, and I'm sure he's going to be into the pits within the next 3 or 4 laps. IRS LB44 is really dropping back here from Kentrum with that DRS that he had from Solar, but luckily for him, Remy and Mario Bros have got past Lumina. DBK has now joined the party. There he is. DBK and Lumina going at it. Briconia with another 3-second time penalty. DBK looked like he went wide there into a time penalty. 3.4 seconds now, the gap up top. Joshua tagging along nicely with the Red Bull. Back to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. All within DRS of each other. DBK going around the outside of Mario Bros. Goes a bit wide though. Can he get after Remy? Joshua looking for a pop. Ooh, very close to Matty there. I thought he was just going to go for an overtake. But yeah, this is the perfect time for Matty and Joshua to undercut Shazam. His tyres have gone off. If they've got a set of hard tyres, box this lap and try to get the undercut on Shazam into the race lead. What tyres will Shazam have? He'll have to go hards because he was on. So actually, if Joshua and Matty got a set of mediums here, Shazam's got to go onto a set of hards. So this could be perfect for them two if they had a set of mediums to undercut with. If they're thinking like that, we do not know. We'll only find out until they box. Yellow flag. What's happened? What's happened? Is that Mazur? Ah, it's Briconia, sorry. He's had a moment somewhere. Shazam stays out another lap. Matty and Joshua chasing after him. Kentrum's into the pits. His tyres are done. He's going to be on to a brand new set of hard tyres. Yellow flag. And it's an Alpine of Azor again. I keep thinking it's one of the top guys, as DBK has a battle with Remy. Going for the switchback. Oh, just drives into him. Just got too much of a better traction out of the corner. Remy with the DRS. Nothing DBK can do there. I feel like that's it. Shazam tyres look alright, but he is losing time now. I think we will see him into the pits very soon. There we go. So Matty and Joshua, they could have had an opportunity there to get ahead of Shazam. They still might have an opportunity towards the end of the race with the mediums. So we're waiting for all the drivers to dive back into the pits. Shazam rejoins behind IRS LB44. P5 for the McLaren. You got Remy and DBK still going at it. Trying to do a switch back in the Alpine around the outside. Slight bit of contact. DBK able to defend this one. And Lumina almost collects the back of Remy, outbraking himself. Kentrum gets a 10-second time penalty for cutting the corner. What's happened to Kentrum? Oh, Kentrum's just ruined himself. On for a top 5 finish, and something's happened. Joshua and Matty still out on track. IRS LB44 could be something to play a part in this. Can he hold up Shazam? Shazam's got such a better exit though, but can IRS LB44 just... No, he can't. It's going to be too close. Shazam should breeze past down into turn 1. With the help of IRS, goes to the outside. Will IRS LB44 defend it? Yes, he does. There's the Ferrari. To be fair, that's good work from IRS LB44, slowing up the McLaren there. He's done his job. That has cost him about half a second there. Just a little battle. Good defensive work from the Ferrari, who's still out on track in P5. He has got DBK catching a little bit though, so I think IRS LB44 might want to think about pitting soon. Let's have a look at the tyres that he's got available and how many laps he's got left and just work it out in his head. Nod into the pits. I think Shazam just lapped Piconia there along with IRS LB44. Joshua and Matty into the pits. Joshua almost into the back of Matty there. We'll keep an eye out on where Shazam is as he comes out of the final corner. He will go back into the lead of this race pretty much. Stola's yet to pit, so that's how we're classing it. But Matty and Joshua have hard tyres, that's what I'm saying. They should have boxed earlier for the undercut. Now they're on the same tyres, but only 2 laps difference. I think they made a bit of a mistake there with that one. Don't think 2 lap old hard tyres are going to make too much of a difference come the end of this race now. Still waiting for the Ferraris to box. A few other people like DBK, Remy, Andy Mack. Everyone is on the hard tyres. I think if someone did box for the mediums now, they would find a lot of pace towards the end of this race. Will Andy possibly go for it? Remy, who's that going side by side? The two racing bulls. Remy's holding up Kentrum. Remy with the wing damage, holding up his teammate who's just boxed. Kentrum, who's on for a top 5 finish at the moment. Remy's still got a box to get rid of those hard tyres. So the racing bulls not really working well together there. Kentrum trying to chase down DBK. IRS 44 losing 2 positions there. He's staying out another lap along with his teammate. Matty and Joshua are now 6 seconds behind Shazam. That's how much time they lost just by staying out on those hard tyres too long. Joshua still unable to get past Matty though. These two are right with each other the whole race. Mizor used to get out of the way, giving the dirty air and putting drivers off a little bit there. Just he got a blue flag, just needs to get out of the way. He's costing Matty time, even though Matty's had a better sector here than Joshua, and he will have the DRS, which doesn't help Joshua. Shazam chasing after Solo, who's still out there on track. 17 lap old hard tyres. His teammate IRS 44 has had enough. He's going to be onto a set of mediums, so he's going to be very quick towards the end of this race now. Kenchun's already gone though. He's going to have to absolutely send it. I think he's got a P6 here, P5 possibly for IRS 44. Has got DBK behind him though, who's just pitted and was closing. Mario Bros has jumped IRS 44 actually. So there's a few battles we'll be seeing towards the end of this race. Shazam now 3.3 seconds behind Solar. Is Solar just playing the long game, hoping for a safety car? Will he try to defend from Shazam and try hold him up? Try cost him time? Well, he won't. He's into the pits. His tyres are completely done. Where will Solar rejoin here? It's going to be close with Kentrum for that P5. He's just leaving the pit box now, heading down the straight. It's going to be close with both racing bulls, to be fair. Kentrum's coming down the straight now. Should get the jump on Solar. Just because of the straight line speed, not quite. Solar's come out just ahead. But he's 11 seconds off the top 3. IRS 44 back up into P6 on those mediums. And he's going to be pushing on now. 13 seconds on the 6 lap old hard tyres of Kentrum. What can IRS 44 do? Still got the DRS as well. Gonna have to drain that battery a little bit. Try to just push as much as he can. Matty was taking a couple of attempts out of Shazam, but this lap Shazam's absolutely pushed on. 7.1 seconds, found 1.1 seconds in one lap there over the Red Bull. I think one of these drivers are potentially pushing up into P2 in the standings here. Which driver, we don't know yet. Solar's on 47 points, Matty on 46 points, and Joshua on 44 points. So at the moment I think Matty is just edging it. getting himself into P2 ahead of Joshua and Solar. Will unfortunately be dropping down to P4 if it stays this way due to the sprint race. IRS LB44 has taken 2 seconds out of Kendra on that lap. It's doable towards the end here for IRS LB44. He's got to think of the long game. He's got to think lap 36, lap 35 he needs to be with Kentrum. Let's have a look at the position changes. Yeah, Kentrum's up 7 positions. At the moment, he is by far the driver of the day. He's just had a great race. He had a great sprint race as well, to be fair. I think he showed good... Did he have a good sprint race? I'm sure he showed good pace in the sprint. Or was that Remy? Either way, Kentrum's having a great race here at the moment as Solar sets a new fastest lap. We'll keep an eye out for Solar actually. He's on those medium tyres. Can he close up to the back of Joshua and Matty? Cause some trouble towards the end? Yeah, it's got a 6 second there. That's the only thing. On board with DBK, who, as well as IRS LB44, could be battling for that P5 come the end of this race. He's pushing on. He's on 3 lap old hard tyres, trying to chase after IRS LB44, who's chasing after Kentrum. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Not sure IRS LB44 is doing enough at the moment. I think in 3 or 4 laps we'll tell, but Kentrum picks up another time penalty there. He's up to 22 seconds now, so actually IRS LB44 is well inside what he needs to do. He's just got to be careful from DBK, because DBK is pushing hard on the hard tyres behind him. That is the battle for 5th position. Back to Joshua though, still unable to get past Matty. These two have been with each other the whole race, and I mean whole race. And it's been Matty ahead of Joshua the whole time. Joshua just hasn't got the outright pace to get past and get up the road after Shazam. They have taken another second out of Shazam though. So he keeps switching every couple of laps. Matty will be faster 1 lap, and then a couple of laps later Shazam takes another second out of him, and then vice versa. So that's a weird one to work out at the moment. 5.9 seconds the gap is. Shazam has been leading since lap 1 or 2 where he overtook Solar. There was a brief moment where Shazam boxed and he had to fall into the pack and get himself back to P1. But other than that, he's been out front the whole time. DBK now 1.9 seconds behind IRS LB44, who's now 9 seconds with 6 laps to go behind Kentrum. Can he get to Kentrum before DBK gets to him? I highly doubt it, but he needs to try to take DBK with him without letting him past. Get to Kentrum, and I hope that something happens there. Joshua out of ERS, tucked up behind Matty once more. He's going to be sick of seeing that Red Bull, the Oracle Sun. I think Oracle is going to be his worst sponsor. DBK now 1.4 seconds behind IRS LB44. While the hard tyres starting to feel better. IRS LB44 still catching up with Kentrum though. So still a good result for Ferrari. At the moment in this main race, they are scoring the highest points over any team. DPK trying to change that though in the Alpine. Now within the DRS of IRS LB44, cruises up to the back of the Ferrari. Brakes a bit too late though and gets wing damage. Just had too much overspeed there in the Alpine. Just couldn't stop. And has given himself wing damage. These two do not want to fight too hard here. Should be an easy move now for DPK, but with that wing damage, IRS LB44 should be able to fight back. Coming through sector 1 and sector 2 and then retake the position back on the last next lap. This is the only real battle we've got at the moment, apart from Joshua and Matty, who are still tucked up in P2 and 3. Solar's not managed to do anything on the medium since boxing. He's actually dropped back a little bit on the last couple of laps. And like I said, Shazam again pushes the gap back up to 7 seconds. And takes that time from Matty once more. Solar picking up another 3-second time penalty. Kentrum picks up another 3 seconds as well. Penalties are starting to rack up. 5 drivers without a penalty. Andy, Mack and Remy. Not spoken about Andy, Nud or Remy for a while. Nud's down in P12 for 24 seconds. He's in the points. Andy's P11, which could be a little bit higher, possibly if he finds some time in the last couple of laps to catch up. Remy, he's going to be gaining some positions. Lap 32 of 36. This man here leading the way. He's won round 1. He's won round 2, and he's on the way to making it 3 out of 3 here at Mexico. He's got 4 laps to go. 7.3 second gap, and Matty and Joshua just not able to catch up. Joshua is falling back a little bit from Matty. Almost lost the DRS there, was 9 tenths behind Matty. Fortunately for the kick driver, he has stayed within 1 second. IRS LB44 has lost P6 to DBK. And IRS LB44's tyres starting to go off a little bit now. He will be in P6 though, so basically he hasn't lost the position. Sliding about with the rear tyres. Just thinking about driver of the day at the moment, I still think it should be Kentrum or Shazam. They're my top 2 at the moment. There is some Kentrum, well to be fair, he's picked up too many penalties now, man. He's picked up 28 seconds. I was going to give him driver of the day just for the amount of positions he's gained, but he's picked up 28 seconds here of penalties, and he's going to drop down the field quite a bit. So just have a look at other drivers. Matty's done well, to be fair. I'm a bit stuck at the moment. I think could go to Shazam or Matty. Andy's done well down in P11 to get 3 positions. We're on lap 34 though. This race is coming to a close. First sprint race of the season. It's definitely been entertaining. Got another little battle producing here. Lumina on the fresher tyres over Mario Bros. Looking to get into P8, sorry. Job done. Both of them on 9 seconds. They have got Remy trying to close up as well. Remy needs to get 1.2 seconds here to jump both of them drivers up into P8. Andy Mack, P11, yet to... Oh, Mizor just got past Nud. But Andy Mack, yeah, one of the only drivers not to get a penalty down in P11. Mario Bros and Lumina still going at it. Josh has finally lost the DRS to Matty. He's probably been in the DRS for 35 laps. And this is the first lap that I've seen Joshua outside that 1 second gap. On the penultimate lap of the race. Shazam, 7.4 seconds out front. Lumina and Mario Bros still going at it. Lumina getting back up into P8. But here comes Shazam down the main straight. Lumina and Mizor, Nud and Mizor, sorry, still going at it here. Not really seen much of these two drivers, so let's stick with this little battle. See if Mizor can get back past Nud, or Nud could defend it. Shazam just coming through sector 1. Nud going a bit wide there. Here comes Mizor with the opportunity. Goes to the inside. It's a late breaking move. Gets it all wrong. Nud with the switchback says thank you very much. I will take that. Back into P12 he goes. But now he'll be under pressure from Mizor. Down the straight with the DRS. Mizor should be able to get the job done. While that's going on, we'll go back to Shazam. He's coming into the stadium section now. The fireworks are going to go off for the McLaren driver. He is successful once more. Started this season absolutely perfect. Round 1 in Singapore, round 2 in Abu Dhabi. Comes out of the final corner and wins the main race here in Mexico to make it 3 in a row. What a race for Shazam there. Excellent performance from the McLaren. Matty's going to come home in P2 ahead of Joshua for the podium. 3 solid drives there. No penalties between them on the podium. Solar, I think it's going to be a bit disappointing with this performance. He's going to be coming home in P4 into the final corner. P4 is where he'll be in the driver's standings as well. After qualifying on pole, the Ferrari finishes just inside the top 5. Kentrum, with about 28 seconds worth of penalties in the racing balls, comes home in P5. He will be dropped back a few positions though. DBK will jump him up into P5. IRS LB44, who's struggling here, gets up into P6. Mario Bros up into P7. And Kentrum stays P8 with Lumina in P9. Remy, how's he getting on? Where's he going to finish this race? P10. And then Andy Mack out of the final corner. He will finish P11 with Mizor and Nud 12th and 13th. Well done. Congratulations to Shazam, who is victorious once again. I think the top 3 were in a different level today. Race pace wise, Shazam, race winner, fastest lap from Solar, got the extra point. Driver of the day was Kentrum on the game. We are yet to make the decision about that. Solar with the most overtakes though, even though he had a bit of a difficult ending and difficult strategy. Still had most overtakes. Confirmation there. of the race. Driver of the day though, I am going to give it to Andy Mack. My reasoning, P14 on the grid to P11, no time penalties. I think either one of the top three deserve that, but I think we give it to too many drivers up the top all the time. Just like the race winner, I think someone throughout the pack who's had a hard race, got no track limit penalties, gained 3 positions, scored some decent points. So yeah, my driver of the day is Andy Mack for today. But yeah, thank you for everyone who's watched. We'll be back next week for Monza, Tier 1 and 2, racing around the streets of Italy. So yeah, thank you all for watching and we'll catch you then. Peace out.